anything to make my life miserable there. They didn't want me there because they said, this guy's here because he's blind, and we don't care if he went to Harvard Law School, we don't want him. Well, they started giving me a hard time, and did I let that bring me down? No! Come on! If I went blind and stood up and went to Harvard Law School, I said, I'm going to stand up here at IBM and they're going to eat their words. And sure enough, what did I do again? I volunteered. I called the bar association. They weren't giving me any work at IBM. They were trying to get me out of there by giving me nothing. Crap work. I was doing nothing there. But I said, I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm not going to do it. They're going to eat what they're doing because they're going to be embarrassed by what I'm going to do. I called the Bar Association of the State of New York, the Bar Association of the City of New York, and said, hey, do you need volunteers to help poor people? Sure, we have a program for volunteers. Do you want to volunteer, sir? Yes, I do. I want to help poor people. So on my free time, I dedicated myself. I asked my boss, can I do pro bono work, which is lawyers who help poor people on the side? He said, oh yeah, IBM does like to do help for the community. Yeah. So you can do it. Go ahead. Well, guess what? It was the biggest success, and it embarrassed the people, the management at IBM who didn't want to believe in me. I got 3 times the award as the best, most impressive, or whatever it was, pro bono lawyer of the year in New York. I was taken to Albany. Because I didn't give up. And suddenly my management at IBM had to turn around, start giving me a lot of responsibility, and before you knew it, I was the big shot in the company in law, employment law, law related to wages and hours, discrimination law, because they had finally come to believe, oh well, he's blind, but he's really, really a good lawyer, so let's give him a lot of work. Before I knew it, I was a professor at Fordham Law School, and I was getting invited all over the country to give speeches to teach people about these new laws that Congress was passing that people needed to know. Again, it was just a matter of not giving up. Using adversity for success. You gotta believe in it, folks, because there is the only way you're gonna make it in life. Then what happened? So then IBM starts, I'm having a nice life, everything is great, but then suddenly IBM starts offering packages, which means they wanted people to move on. And I gladly took mine because it was time to move on. And so now everybody said, oh, you're going to get a job, man. You're so well known. Wrong. I went to 70 interviews. 70. Not 17. 70 interviews. Everybody who saw my resume invited me to interview. Every corporation you can believe. Merrill Lynch, Bear Stearns, Goldman Sachs, American Express, any corporation, they would all invite me because they didn't know I was blind. And as soon as they would see I was blind, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to think about it. You're so impressive, but you're too much for the job, You're going to make your manager uncomfortable because you have so much experience and so much knowledge. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. They just didn't want the blind person. They did not want the blind person in their staff because it immediately, what was it? Money. They didn't want to spend the money on accommodation. So what? What did I do then? Folks? Volunteer! You got it! I called a lawyer friend of mine and said, hey, Lou, come on, do you need somebody to help you? Maybe you have a case with Hispanic people, Hispanic workers. Do you need somebody to help you? He said, Mike, I'll look into it. And sure enough, a couple of months later, Lou called me and said, Mike, you're lucky. I got a case here of Dominican parking lot workers who didn't get paid their wages properly, and I know you're an expert in that law, so come on over and help me. So I came over and I acted as the grunt worker. I was doing all the grunt work for this lawyer. For no pay. I was just doing it for getting my hands in the cookie jar while I still was interviewing. And what happened? All the workers, all the clients loved me. They said, oh, because I had to deal with it. The lawyer didn't want to deal with it. I was the contact with all the guys in the case. There were many, many people. It was a class action. What came out of there? Excuse me, I got myself a law business from it. What happened? Everybody passed the word, this dude is real cool, he really looks out for us. Next thing I know, I had an office on Park Avenue. Today, folks, I have hundreds of clients, thousands of clients. And again, because there was no problem. You give of yourself, God will give you more than you ever could. Anyway, the bottom line is this, kids, have faith. God is with you all the time. I swear to you, I live it, and I pass the word to you. Have faith all the time. When it's bad times, say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for giving me a bad time, because I know this means something good is coming, and it will come. I swear to you, it will come. Why did I get this award? Finally, I got my business going. So I had a small law business. I started in my house. It was tough, but it started coming and coming and coming. And I said, I gotta hustle. I gotta do some networking to get more business. So I joined something called the Rotary Club. The Rotary Club is a place that all of you should think about, that it just helps the community. It's a group of business people who want to meet with each other to network, but in meeting each other, you help the community. You do things for the community. And I got into the Rotary Club. At the beginning, I thought they didn't want me because they were such highfalutin. No! You just made a phone call and said, I want to join. Before I knew it, everybody was slapping my back, and they were very happy to have me there. They were very impressed, blah, blah, blah. Before I knew it, they made me the head of the community education division of the club. I was in charge of developing all sorts of plans for kids in New York City to get a better chance in education. And let me tell you, it was quite rewarding. I got kids from the schools around the city in the Bronx and Harlem and Queens to get involved in matters that involved science, engineering, mathematics, and the club did everything to pay for their education when they got to college. And it was quite a good time doing that. And guess what I got out of that? A lot of business! See? Because people at the Rotary Club who knew me and who saw me working were impressed. And they would send me clients. Again, folks, you don't want to believe me, I don't care. I'll tell you this. You need to reach out. Things don't fall on your lap. You need to get your butt up. Pick up a phone. Call one place, call another, call a third place. It's not easy, but you'll find it. I'm telling you, you will find it, and it will come to you if you try. Okay? I'm telling you this, and today I'm a very happy lawyer. I thought, I'll never make it. I make now 3 or 4 times what I used to make at IBM, and I am so happy because I help undocumented workers, the poorest people in this country, undocumented workers who make less than the minimum wage, get what the law requires they get. The minimum wage and the law. And it is very rewarding because these people really thank me, and I know I'm doing good for needy people in this country. And you hear these, people who want to throw all these undocumented workers back at their country. They are so wrong. These are the people who everybody doesn't see it, but they are the people who do the really terrible work that nobody wants to do. And they do it gladly, and they're very grateful that they have a job and have to help other people. And guess what? We all are immigrants in this country, and this country should be so thankful. The example is Sat Bhattacharya. Sat is a man who comes from India. A very poor country. And look what Sat is doing for the United States. He's helping the needy people in this country get a great education. Come on, folks. That's, where is an American doing that, for God's sake? Where is a wealthy Rockefeller or a Kennedy or one of these wealthy Mitt Romneys doing anything for that? Excuse me! It has to be a foreigner like that, or like me, who come to this country and who believe in the United States for what it is, the land of opportunity. But you gotta help everybody in this country if you want to really be somebody in this country. Help the needy, because that's the way to find your own success. I don't want to bore you anymore. I thank you very much. Zach, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Well, everyone, why don't you rise for a wonderful you've written all of this because the papers are due on Saturday. Thanks. Sit down, please. I would like to have Michael So as Michael suggested, you have to bring yourself forth. And let me tell you, this year particularly, many of you don't know, this organization is running entirely out of my own pocket. And the wonderful movers and shakers that make this going are a product of the organization. All of you, please come up Rami, everyone. So all of you are products of Harlem Children's Society. Afan, come on. As Michael suggested, these people at this stage are volunteering the work. And this will pay off very handsomely. Hopefully you'll make millions of dollars. But money doesn't matter. And as Michael said, you get your money, but more than that, you enjoy doing it. He enjoys the work because other people are thankful. And that's exactly what you're going to be trained for. You're going to be perhaps leading scientists, engineers, or doctors, or business people doing science, or helping other people. And Michael, that was a wonderful, wonderful. I knew so many things. I knew many of those things. And I know Michael personally through how many years?
We've known each other for 15 years.
15 years. So, Michael is an avid swimmer, and sometimes, I can't run a marathon like Councilmember Jackson, but I can swim, but I hardly these days don't have time. But sometimes I meet Michael in the gym whenever it's time to leave, and we bump into each other, and it's a wonderful, wonderful time. And Michael, you're just an inspiration, not just for the students, but also for me, and for all of us. I mean, this is what we should learn from all of this, and this is what I hope we take this home and write about this and have this in our own lives. So, Michael, I'd like to give you have you give the award for movers and shakers to our students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me put this. Okay.
So first is Jim Chan. Jim. Here.
This way. Oh, it's all right.
So Michael is going to read about Jim. So Harvard alma mater, you can always come back. Yeah. So
get ready.
Hold on.